You can tell when someone's been emotionally bracing for too long, they stop letting good moments fully land, they stop talking about plans too confidently, stop checking the weather before trips because part of them assumes something will cancel anyway. Even excitement starts sounding careful, not because they don't care, usually because they care so much they got tired of feeling foolish afterward. And honestly, a lot of people live like this without realizing how much it changes them. It starts small. You stop playing music while cleaning the apartment, stop sitting near people on the train even when seats are open, start reheating the same coffee because your attention keeps drifting somewhere heavy. The strange part is, outwardly, you still look functional. You still go to work, still answer emails, still show up to dinners and say, yeah, I've just been busy lately. But emotionally, you haven't fully participated in your own life in a while. A lot of emotionally guarded people are like that: competent, reliable, calm under pressure. Meanwhile, their body is carrying this constant low-level brace all day long. You can see it in little things: the way they reread messages before sending them, how fast they downplay good news, how they start explaining themselves less because they already feel tired halfway through the conversation. Some people respond to this by becoming quieter. They disappear into routines, long showers, late-night grocery stores, walking around with headphones in even when nothing's playing. Other people move the opposite direction. They stay productive constantly, always moving, always optimizing something. But even then, they never fully relax inside the moment they're in. At some point, survival mode starts sounding like discipline. You can feel it when someone laughs while already emotionally preparing for the feeling to end. Fear changes the way people participate in life. Not dramatically at first. Behaviorally, you hesitate before speaking even when you know exactly what you want to say. You open the fridge and just stand there staring for a second. You let calls ring longer before answering because part of you already feels emotionally tired. After a while, emotional bracing starts sounding like realism. That's where it gets dangerous, because eventually you stop recognizing the behavior as fear. You just call it your personality now. There's no point getting excited too early. I'm just careful. I don't expect much from people anymore. And maybe part of that feels true, but another part of you has quietly started adapting to disappointment before life even answers. There was this older woman people used to visit whenever life started feeling heavy. Not because she had perfect advice, people just felt calmer around her. That matters more than people realize. Some people walk into your stress and immediately make it louder. They rush your emotions, interrupt silence too quickly, treat every problem like an emergency that needs fixing immediately. Other people sit beside you in a way that reminds your body it can unclench a little. The older woman was like that. You'd notice yourself breathing slower around her, talking more honestly, not rehearsing every sentence before saying it out loud. One afternoon, a younger woman came to visit her after work. You could tell she was exhausted immediately. Not dramatic exhausted, regular exhausted. The kind where your bag slips off your shoulder and you don't even bother fixing it right away. Where your tea goes cold beside you because your brain keeps replaying the same thought loop. Where you check your phone again even though nobody's texted. Her husband had left for another city trying to find work. Weeks passed. No clear answer yet. No certainty. No timeline. And slowly, her mind started filling the silence with fear. What if this never changes? What if I'm the only one still hoping? What if this is just how life feels now? That's the strange part about uncertainty. People start rehearsing disappointment, hoping it'll hurt less if it arrives. And eventually, that rehearsal changes identity. You stop seeing yourself as somebody life opens for. Other people get opportunities, other people fall in love, other people get chosen. Meanwhile, you become the person who emotionally prepares for the backup plan before life even responds. That changes behavior more than people. You stop trying before things fully begin. You speak less confidently inside rooms you belong in. You talk yourself out of opportunities before anyone else can reject you first. A lot of people aren't emotionally closed off. They've just been bracing for disappointment too long. The younger woman kept talking faster and faster while the older woman listened quietly. Then finally, the older woman asked her something simple. What if life helps you more than you expect? The younger woman almost laughed, not because the question sounded ridiculous, because it sounded unfamiliar. That hit something in her immediately. Some people spend so long emotionally preparing for the worst, they forget how strange hope feels inside the body. Not dramatic hope, just simple openness, the kind where you answer the message right away. Leave the curtains open longer. Say yes to plans without immediately regretting it afterward. The older woman told her something else she never forgot. If you expect life to abandon you, eventually you stop participating before life even gets the chance to answer. That line stayed with her because she started noticing how many parts of herself had quietly disappeared already. She stopped singing while cooking, stopped making plans too far ahead, stopped laughing fully before catching herself and calming back down again. Not because joy disappeared, she just stopped trusting it to stay. That happens to people more than they realize. You become half relaxed, half bracing. Even during good moments, your body stays slightly prepared for something to go wrong. But slowly, things started shifting, not through some huge transformation, just awareness. The younger woman started noticing her habits without attacking herself for them. That changed something. People usually don't reconnect through pressure. They reconnect when they stop fighting themselves long enough to move differently. So little behaviors started changing. She opened the curtains earlier in the morning, started replying to messages when she saw them instead of 3 hours later, started sitting outside after work instead of rushing straight home. Small things, but emotionally, they mattered. Every tiny action interrupted the version of life she'd been rehearsing in her head. Maybe silence didn't automatically mean abandonment. Maybe disappointment wasn't guaranteed every time something felt hopeful. Maybe life wasn't against her as much as she thought. And once that shift started happening, she noticed things she'd been missing before. Neighbors offering help, conversations she normally would have escaped early, moments where her body actually relaxed without immediately pulling itself tight again. Yet hope changes behavior before it changes circumstances. That's why participation matters so much. Hopeful people stay in conversations longer, ask one more question, apply for the thing, call people back, try again after rejection instead of disappearing into embarrassment. Not perfectly, not every day, but consistently enough that life finally has somewhere to meet them. Weeks later, the younger woman returned to visit the older woman again, still uncertain, still waiting for parts of her life to stabilize, but lighter somehow. You could see it in tiny things. Her shoulders looked softer. She stopped twisting her sleeves while talking. When her phone buzzed, she glanced at it once and let herself stay present in the conversation. Nothing magical had happened yet. That's important. The real transformation started earlier. The moment she stopped treating every hopeful feeling like something dangerous. Because fear does that quietly. It teaches people to feel embarrassed for wanting better. And once someone stops apologizing internally for hope, they start participating in life differently again. They answer the message, take the walk, speak a little more honestly, stay emotionally present long enough for good moments to actually reach them. And eventually, something starts returning. Attention, curiosity, warmth. Parts of yourself that disappeared while you were busy emotionally preparing for loss all the time. Maybe that's the real shift. Not becoming a different person, just slowly becoming reachable again. Maybe life starts feeling lighter the moment you stop treating hope like something you need to protect yourself from.